First and foremost, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect out here pushing truth and sincerity. The water for which I do, we love you. We appreciate you through the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And shalom to y'all. It's your brother Dawa Dodd from the Great Millstone Camp in Atlanta. Lord willing to give you an edifying lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Who the world ignorantly calls God, his name is Yahweh, meaning he is, or he exists, or he to be. Who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, meaning he is the Savior, all right, or he delivers, he saves, he delivers. All right, if you're watching this now and you are a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino man or woman, you are a Hebrew Israelite according to the Holy Bible. You would not find Black, Native American, or Latino in the Bible. If you don't look like a so-called Black, Native American, or Latino, but you feel like this is the truth and it resonates with your spirit, there's a good possibility that you could be a Hebrew Israelite as well. It does not matter what you look like. It does not matter what color your skin is. It only matters that your bloodline goes back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob had his name later changed to Israel. Israel in the Hebrew is Yasharallah, meaning he is a prince of the power. Ezekiel 35:1. Now the subtitle reads, Prophecy Against Mount Seir. All right. So, let me see. Let me see something real quick. Off. I'm trying to get that's off. Let's just read it. All right. It says prophecy against Mount Seir. Now this is talking about Esau. All right. It says, moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Now Mount Seir is a people before it's a place. Just like the Hebrew Israelites are a people before it is a place. Okay. It's a nation of people. The word seer means hair, hairy, or shaggy. Forgot the. Yeah, it means seer. That means hairy, right? I think it's more specifically something about yellow hair. We just went over this. Some things kind of slip your mind, but it means hair. Seer means hair. And that is a hairy man. But anyways, I digress. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. So, Esau is Mount Seir. They're a people before they're a place, just like Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Jerusalem are you so-called Blacks, Native Americans, Latinos that make up the 12 tribes of the Hebrew Israelites. All right. Jerusalem in the Hebrew is Yerushalayim, which means teaching of peace, or a city of peace. All right. Going on in verse 3, it says prophesy against it, by the way, right? And why? Because we are prophesying against it. That's exactly what we're doing, right? Let them know that their kingdom is going to be taken down and destroyed by Yahweh Shai and his angels. All right. By what you call UFOs. But primarily here in Babylon by the destruction of nuclear ICBM intercontinental ballistic missiles. World War III is going to bring along nuclear destruction, right? But then the whole nation would be taken down by Yahweh Shai, and they would be put into captivity for 1,000 years, put into slavery, and then it will be destroyed at the end. All right. Now, this is speaking about Esau, because I know we say white people, but when we say white, we're not talking about the entire white race. Like, we're talking about the entire nation of people, but that's Esau, not the entire nation of white people, because there is no white people. White people don't exist, but there's a group of people who are calling themselves white that have other people that look like them that are not a part of the wicked. You understand? So we don't really say white people, are going to be destroyed. We don't say white people are going to be put into slavery. This is not a racial matter, all right? This is not a racist thing. It's not a prejudice thing. This is about taking down the wicked. That's what this is about. It's about taking down the wicked. All right, the wicked is going to go into slavery. If you're of that if you're of that nation that looks like them, that doesn't mean that you're a part of the wicked. So let's get that straight. That does not mean you're a part of the wicked. If you got people that look like they're black people, doesn't make him part of the righteous. All right, verse 3 says, and say unto Esau, thus said the Lord power, behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. See, so the Most High is against Mount Seir. So we're against the wicked, Mount Seir, the seers, not the seers, the seers, right? The hairy. It says, behold, O Mount Seir, which is behold, O Esau, O Edomite, I am against thee. And I say Edomite because Esau had his name later changed to Edom, right? Which means red. It says, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. So he's talking to a group of people, and they're the wicked. They're known as the wicked. That's all. All right? It's not saying white people are going to slavery, white people are going to be destroyed. No, it's just saying Edomites are going to be going into slavery. Edomites are going to be destroyed. The wicked are going to slavery. The wicked are going to be destroyed. It says, I will lay thy cities waste. See? It says desolate and waste. It says, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, right? And you damn heathens, right? You're questioning the Most High, and it's annoying. All right? It's I mean, ultimately we can ignore you because it's just laughable. But it's annoying, man. You're like a gnat saying, oh, there's no God. There can't be a God because of this, and it can't be a God because of that. You sound stupid, man. You sound smart to somebody stupid. Talking about the damn Big Bang Theory. You sound smart to somebody stupid. That's why the Most High said the wisdom of this world is foolish with the Heavenly Father. You're gonna tell the Most High He doesn't exist because you came up with something called the theory of evolution. Are you out of your mind? Are you out of your mind? Are you sick in the head? But we call you the wicked. You're the deceiver. The word devil, diablos, means deceiver. You're the great deceiver. Are you out of your effing mind? Oh, like you say, you call it the theory of evolution. You say that we originated from tadpoles. You know what I mean? Like, you just come up with the most. So where did the tadpoles come from? You know what I'm saying? And then you try to come up with these other things. Well, 600 billion years ago, when there was an explosion in the outer spheres, that's how you had this planet become, and the tadpoles and all the beautiful wildlife that's out there, the creatures of the sea, the birds of the air, the lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And that was all made from explosion that happened in the outer space 600 billion years ago. It's like, really, nigga? You know what I mean? And you can look it up. It's called pseudoscience. It means it's science that's extremely exaggerated to the point of no questionability. You can't question it because they say they have the technology to date back billions of years, and you don't. So their pseudoscience has to be believed. Why? Because it sounds smart to somebody stupid. That's why. And who are stupid? Children. Now they are smart. Don't get me wrong, but they're not smart enough to not question stupid shit. And you know what's crazy? When I was a child and I heard the theory of evolution and the theory of the Big Bang Theory, I promise you, I thought that the shit sounded stupid. And when your natural, inclination, in your gut, people call it a gut feeling, right? And it tells you something's off, even as a child, usually it's correct. It's off. But you're taught to believe this because this is Esau saying that it's true. The great deceiver. He put in his universities and his college, his high schools and textbooks and stuff. So it has to be true. He put it in books. So therefore it is. It is written, right? No, wrong. All right. It is written in the Bible that you are the wicked and that you're the devil, which are the deceiver, and you will sit down and you will come down and sit in a dirt, on the dust, O daughter of Babylon. Dust being confusion, and you would be there heavily in it, doused in it in confusion. Verse 5 says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, and the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. And we suffered 350 years of living out prophecies. Slovakia, right? We lived out these prophecies, which was slavery, which was brutal killings, being brutally murdered, castration and hangings and burnings, and destruction of whole communities and villages and cities. You did these things: bombings, shootings, executions, beatings. Emmett Till and Rosewood and Tulsa, Oklahoma, and all these different, KKK rallies and things like that. You did this. You see? So because you did that during a time of you buck break and all that during this time of our downfall, you're gonna because you didn't have to do all of that. You didn't have to be extra, but he said you had a perpetual hatred, right? And it says has shed the blood. So you had you shed the blood and had a perpetual hatred at the same time. You did too much. You did far too much. You're not right. Your spirit is not upright in you. You're profane, which means to be outside the temple, to be unholy, right? 6, therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. It says thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. They have not hated blood. They have not strayed away from it, man. You see? They've gotten closer and closer to it. Look what they're doing over there in the Middle East with all the bombings and things of that nature. You see? You can go on Twitter and look up so many different, killings and things that these people in these militaries have done to civilians and children and women. They don't hate blood, bro. So-called Native American Indians, which are Hebrew Israelites, have been fighting these, MFers about these pipelines and things of that such going through their land. Like, you've already taken the land from the whole country from them, and then the desolate places you put them at, you want to build pipelines and things of that sort. You see, you never satisfy. Gathering up all the grapes. Don't leave any grapes behind for anybody else. Don't hate blood. You love to shed blood. That's your shtick, man. You love that. It says, therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will prepare thee into blood, and shall pursue thee. It says, that's how now hated blood, and even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So you're gonna get what you reap. You're gonna reap what you sow. It says, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. So your lineage will no longer be after 1,000 years of slavery. It says, and I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and the hills, and in the valleys, and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. Yeah, it's gonna be so many bodies of your nation. No one can count it. It said, I will make thee perpetual desolations, and thy city shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. And he said that let me see what it says. Yeah, he said, so what scriptures tell us, that no wickedness can be spread upon the earth no longer when you're gone, because we know through the Greek Empire came came wickedness upon the earth, man. It says, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries shall be mine, and we shall possess it, whereas the Lord was there. Therefore, as I live, said the Lord power, I will even do according to thine anger and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them, and I will make myself known among them when I am judged thee. You see? So you did too much, and the Most High is going to show you that you didn't. We belong to him. You see? We belong to him, and you messed up by touching his anointed, right? It says, because thou hast, it says, therefore, it says, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all the blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, which are the governments of Israel, which are the the governments and the prophets and the people. It says they are laid desolate. They are given us to consume. It says, thus with your mouth you have boasted against me and have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them. You see, because you were given the fatness of the earth and you were given us to be slavery. And really, that was it, man. You wasn't really given to, you were a whipping stick to put us in slavery, but you weren't supposed to buck break us and take our wives, and take our children. Though maybe you could have took the children, that was lawful. But taking our wives, while we were still alive, and buck breaking us, the one that ain't happened to me while I was in another life. I pray and it didn't happen, but you did that to us. You buck broke us. That's homosexuality. You did that. You see, but so you did too much. So he ain't tell you to do that. You feel me? So he ain't tell you to do. You went above and beyond because you're profane. Profane meaning outside the temple, right? He didn't say. Now he didn't. It's not like he he didn't ordain it, you know what I'm saying? But he let you, get your fill, because that way he can build up his case against you, right? It says, thus said the Lord, when the whole earth rejoice, I will make thee desolate, as thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel. You see, and you had us as an inheritance. You were supposed to take care of your slaves, man. You're not supposed to do what you did. It says, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir. And all Idumea. Idumea is another Hebrew word for Edom, right? Well, it's actually Adawam, Adawam, which means red. But Idumea is another word. I think it's the Greek word, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not the Greek word. But it's another word for Edom. It says, even all of it, and they shall know who I am the Lord. So let's get that word there since we stumbled on that. And let's do some research. Yeah, Edom. It's just, okay, that's the translation for the word Edom. But I said that, though. I did say that. It means Edom. So, but that's it, man. Lord, when you was edified on the, inshallah.